Hey folks, hope you're doing good today. Hope you're having a good week so far. Been in the wars a bit myself just lately. I've had a really sore knee, and on Sunday, man, it just totally gave way. Absolute excruciating pain. But yesterday I went and had a steroid injection, and I'll tell you, man, that stuff is an absolute miracle drug. From yesterday to today, the pain is like 80% reduced, and it was serious pain, and I can already start to walk on it, but I think by tomorrow I'll be right as rain. It's actually a miracle drug. Today we're going to be checking out a good friend of the channel, One Man Band, who I like to check out as well, and he's been with the channel a while now, although it's been a year since we've seen him because he's been in the lab doing a bunch of stuff and getting better, as you do as a one-man band, which is dope. But he's got back on the channel again. I'm really pleased to see him back on the channel, and he's got a blurb here which I'm going to get on the channel as well and just read out about this. It says Alpha Bravo is back with a new EP, exactly a year since the release of his single Foxtrot. From his last EP Wolf, Alpha Bravo has collaborated with a bunch of new guest vocalists on this third EP entitled Acid. Alpha Bravo is a straight-edge one-man band and the founder of Cross Audio UK, determined to develop his producing and mixing and mastering skills. Love to hear that. Acid is an example of this, of his latest results. Cross Audio services available through contacting Alpha Bravo or through Fiverr. I get some jobs come through on Fiverr now and again. By experimenting with synths and electronic drums, Acid is a change in direction from the dark hardcore sound of Wolf EP, so we've got a new sound come in. Acid is a warning sign all about the dangers of the ever-continuing progress of technology, examining the negative effects of social media, the controversy of implanted technology, the inevitable AI uprising, and how humans have a tendency to push the limits of innovation so far. Cool. We've had a couple of bands coming through with this vibe, and I think we're going to see more bands in the future coming through with this vibe because it's going to be a thing. It says here, the inevitable AI uprising. I do believe it's an inevitable. So even if you think it's controversial, which it is, and that you've got concerns about it, which you should have, it's inevitable. So you've kind of got to get on board with this because this is what's coming down the pipe, and man, it's going to change the world. It's really going to be a big thing. The EP includes collaborations from Clem KMR, a female vocalist from France, JXKE, a male vocalist from France, Marius, who's got a bit more of a pronounceable name, from Mexico, Thomas Kaiser from the USA, so all over the world with the vocalists as well. Pretty cool. So we've got an EP to check out here. I believe it's 4 tracks. It's 13 and a half minutes long. Let's give it a spin. Still got a cool dark vibe to it, but like an electronic dark vibe. Is that the end of this first one? Sounds like it. Yeah, I'll stop it there quickly because I want to talk about that. Man, these are cool sounds that you don't hear normally together. If you ever hear those kind of electronic sounds, it's in some kind of cyber grind, maybe you hear it, when they break into some more atmospheric section from all the kind of mashup that they have in that kind of music. And I really like to hear it in that because it's a nice break. But I've never really heard it with this kind of metal chugging, dark, hardcore still vibe in there, and with that heavy vocal and all the different kind of vocal styles that were in there, almost deathcore and stuff. Yeah, it was a real mash of sounds that you don't expect to hear together, but I really enjoyed hearing together. I think those tonal synth tones, they add a melancholic vibe to the music. It's dark, but in a synthy dark way. It's not dark metal, dark guitars, although that was a nice, we still had that element in there. But to bring in those tonal synths were really, really nice. I like those tonal synth sounds. And I think it worked with the music nicely to bring in a melancholic vibe and an electronic vibe that still worked with the metal vibe as well. And those can be two edges that are hard to blend together. Really enjoyed it. So I'm looking forward to hearing more. This one's called Charlie. Let's give it a spin.
Charlie.
Lots of emotion in the vocal. Loved it. This is sounding really nice and fresh to my ears. the way that he's bringing these ideas together, and I'm hearing lots of ideas within the music, sounding really great, different, experimental, but working out as well. Nice trap element to this one, and trap wouldn't normally be my main vibe, though I do like to check it out, see what's going on within that scene. But loads of stuff. The trap element was kind of there, but not there like a trap metal song or like a trap nu metal song. I really liked all the stuff that the vocalist did, loads of emotion, all the different styles in there, working with the beats and the energy of the track as well, nicely building it up and going harder and then pulling back, doing a nice job on the vocal as well. So very good to JXKE for that one. But yeah, the music I'm really thinking is sounding nice and fresh, and I'm hearing those ideas that he's trying to put through the music. I think he's purposely on this track gone out of his way to not use standard drum sounds and try and think outside the box within that, and he's made it work nicely. It was a nice rhythm, it was a nice kind of beat to it, and energy within the drums, but totally different sounds to what you'd normally expect, not typical snare and kick sounds. We had the wood blocks and stuff in there as well, and just using different styles of drum kits. Not many people are experimenting with that kind of ideas. You know, they're just trying to make the kick and a normal drum kit sound as heavy as possible, and I really like it. It's super fresh to hear something different to that, especially working with electronic kits as well, where you've got all those different sounds available to you. Yeah, dope. I think that's dope. One second, I'm getting a call. Sorry about that. Got a phone call, lost my train of thought. But I was pretty much saying that the drums, he's thinking outside the box, using different sounds, using different tones. And I'm really liking to hear it. So we're going to continue on. We've got 2 more tracks to check out. This one's called India.
In the rankings of my life, I work to this firm. Microchips and planted greens, wheels happy. Rubber the lamps I could embrace. Metallic battery, I see the soul I can't taste. Rubber the lamps I could embrace. Metallic battery, I see the soul I can't taste.
Nice bass hit.
India.
The only thing I'm missing from this track is I'd like to have some high-end wash from a cymbal, even if it's backgroundy and washed out. Just have some kind of in there would be nice. Cool. All those glitched out parts and, you know, kind of stuff going on in the music is all thought about. You have to make that happen. You don't just press a button and it glitches like that. You've got to press a bunch of buttons and twist a button, a bunch of knobs, but you've got to purposely want that to happen within the music is the point I'm getting at. And there's lots of little bits and bobs like that I'm hearing that tell me he's got ideas. He's thought about his music. He's not just, putting 8 bars and 8 bars together and making a chorus and this and that, like a lot of music can be. This guy's got ideas and he's purposefully injecting them into his music at certain times when he wants them to happen. Really dope. I love to hear it. I can catch on all of that stuff with my ears. A really nice vibe to this one, I would say. I just got on with the overall vibe. Chilled but dark as well, depressive. It's just got a nice melancholic vibe running through this music still. I dig all of that stuff. Very, very cool. Let's finish off with the last one, Delta featuring Thomas Kaiser.
Delta.
It's quite amazing how far technology has come. It's amazing, but very scary as well. Who's going to be doing my job in the next coming century? That's a good question. What's anyone going to do to outperform these machines? There's literally no way for us to outwork a machine, even if we wanted to. They don't understand the repercussions of their actions and what it'll do to the average hard-working American citizen. But do they care? Of course not. As long as they get to keep making easy money using machines that don't need to eat, drink, or have a break, they'll tear through anyone and everything to satisfy their hunger. And with this new AI technology, it'll keep learning and adapting, then just take us out, I'm certain. If only this were some messed up dream. But unfortunately, this is our reality.
Some great bass tones in the whole EP.
With the time you have left, what will you do?
Love spoken word in music. We don't hear it enough nowadays. That guy had a great voice for it as well. I'll presume that was Thomas doing the spoken word as well. He had a great voice, got a good radio voice for that as well. Man, Alpha Bravo, you can be really, really proud of what you've produced here from the last year of working in the lab, doing your own producing as well, recording, mixing, mastering, trying to purposely get better at that as well. You know, there's a lot of tasks for a one-man band to get better at everything pretty much, because they're a one-man band, other than the vocalists, obviously. But yeah, there's a lot to do, and it took me 3 years before I really felt like I understood and could approach, you know, when I got into the DAW and I wanted to create a certain sound, I knew how to do that. It took 3 years to do that. It took 3 years to figure my head around compression at least, and I'm still a bit fuzzy on it now. But yeah, you know, it takes time, especially as a one-man band, to get your head around all these different concepts, all these different dials and knobs and what they do, and VSTs, and how you want your music to sound and how you can make it sound, and just the realization of what's available to you takes a long time. But this guy, I really feel, is heading down such a cool path, and on such a unique and experimental and different path as well, that he really, really wants to stick on it. I think with this EP, he's shown that this guy's got a lot of ideas, different ideas that aren't knocking around and kind of, you know, everyone's doing this kind of stuff. This is a really cool, dark, emotional, collaborative with all the different vocalists. I thought all the vocalists did a great job as well, but just the whole vibe of this album came together super nice. It's cohesive in its vibe. Every track rolls into the next. The vocalists do a good job of keeping that vibe together as well. But yeah, it's dark, it's moody, it's melancholic, it's sad, but it's got an anger in there as well. I like the stuff about the technology and all that coming into it, so it's got a purpose to it as well. All the different ideas that have come into it, the different sounds that have come into it with the electronic synths, which are cool sounds, but the sounds that you don't typically hear in this kind of music, because you just don't really hear this kind of music. So it's different, it's new, it's fresh on the ears. That's really enjoyable to me as well, because I listen to a lot of bands that just sound the same old stuff, and once you've heard the first kind of 20 seconds of the track, you know all what's going to come next for the next 3 minutes, and you know, you can just turn your brain off. This stuff turns my brain on, because I'm hearing new things, I'm hearing ideas, I'm hearing those glitchy effects, and I know as a producer myself what you've got to do to make that happen within the music. It doesn't just happen, you've got to make it happen. And that tells me that he's making things happen within his music, thinking about it. Really, really dope. There's still a few things where I think he can improve on this, and that's why I want him to continue on this road, and you know, keep having those ideas and work on them further. One thing I'd like to hear is a bit more just high end in this music. I know he's going for the dark, bassy, low end vibe, and he's nailed that. I thought all the bass tones in this whole EP sounded incredible. Thick, full, bassy, filled out the low end, and just really just filled out the low end nicely. Dope. And they all had different tones, sounded dope. But there was a lacking high end for my personal taste, and I think this music, even though it's dark and low endy, still needs a balance. You create a balance in the music with adding some high end. Now it can be backgroundy, it doesn't want to be up front and, you know, kind of as heavy as the bass, but I do think you want to incorporate some washed out high cymbals, even if they're low in volume, just to create some kind of wash in there. But also, if you don't want to use cymbals like you were in the second track, where I could tell you purposely not using standard drum noises, and that was really cool. You know, there's some high-pitched synth noises, pad noises, you know, orchestral sounds even. Just wash them out, give them loads of reverb with a big long time to it, and push it back in the mix with the volume, just to create that high-end eeriness and balance out that bass end a little bit is what I would say. So think about that going forward with your ideas, making the music. I just think it needed a bit more high end to the music. And the only other thing that caught my ear that I thought needed more remedy was the bass drum. Sounded very MIDI and kind of electronic. I didn't really have a problem with that, but I thought it could use more effects on particularly the bass drum, because a lot of the other drums did have effects, but I thought the bass drum just came through a bit dry, needed more reverb on it or something, and you could maybe dirty it up with a little bit of gain or something like that, run it through a stomp box and just crank down the gain just to rough things up, because the vibe of the music was dark and rough and low endy, and then that kick just kind of punched through with a dryness that the rest of the music didn't really have, and that's just one of the things that caught my ear. The last thing I want to mention is your limiting can be a bit higher. You still had a lot of headroom in the mix that you could have had this louder. Maybe it was a choice to have it as a more of a suppressed sound. I don't mind that, but people are just going to turn it up louder. So you can just crank that a bit further through the limiter to get a bit more volume out the master. There you go. I really enjoyed it. I've had a great time checking this one out, and I can't wait now to see what he comes up with next, even if it's another year till we see him again, because he's still got a lot, as I say, he was a one-man band. There's a lot to learn. It took me 3 years, so he might still have another year in the lab before he's really happy with what he's, with his abilities in the lab to produce the music exactly how he hears it in his head, and that's what takes the time. You've got the sounds in your head and what you want to produce, and then you've got to kind of learn how to do that through the computer. It's that learning process. Really great to have him back on the channel. Really pleased to have him back on the channel. Thanks for the submission, and if you check this out today, I hope you've enjoyed the vibe. I've really enjoyed it. I'm always on board with a dark, melancholic vibe with a harshness to it as well. Very, very cool. Hope you have a good day today, guys. That's it from me. We'll see you again in the week, because I have got some more submissions, but I'm not quite sure what day that's going to be yet. So we'll see when we see you next. Have a good one, guys. Cheers. Bye.